Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie and today's video I'm going to be doing a part 2 of items I'd like to see my favorite brands release. I did part 1 quite a few months ago, so I'll have that linked up above or down below if you want to see some other brands that I was talking about. But I just finished filming a video about my favorite eyeshadow palettes and palettes in general for fall. And one of the items that I brought up was the Too Faced Chocolate Gold. And I was like, I'd like to see a chocolate gold too. So that inspired this video. So if you want to see the items that I want my favorite brands to release, just keep on watching. So as I mentioned, I wanted to see a chocolate gold too. So this is what the original chocolate gold looks like, and I love it. I just feel like this color scheme could be redone because this was such a high quality eyeshadow palette from Too Faced. I'd love to see a few blue shimmers. I feel like because limes and like really neon colors are really in, like a really pretty shimmering green, maybe like an orange shimmer, a red shimmer, a different shade of purple. This could be taken to like the jewel tone version, the like bright neon pops of color for summer version, because as I said in the intro, I think of this palette when I think of fall because it's just what the colors remind me of. But I think this is one of Too Faced's best palettes. I'll never get over how delicious it smells, but I love the fact that it has these 4 staple mattes in the corner. You have Rollin' in the Dough, which is the white, So Bougie, which is like a nude brown tan, the shade Cocoa Truffle, which is a deeper brown, and the shade Decadent, which is this black. And I feel like with those 4 shades, you can pretty much make any eye look with those shimmers. So maybe the second one, I don't feel like you need a pan this big, but you could do like, I think these 2 are quintessential, which a dark brown and a black. Maybe like a different color, like a more warm transition, and like a fun pop of color matte could take this palette into a second level because this was such a hit from Too Faced, and I'd love to see it redone again. Another item that I'd like to see from Too Faced has to do with their Born This Way foundation. I have the Born This Way in Snow, and this used to be one of my favorite foundations of all time. You can see how much use that I've gotten out of it. And I actually went into Ulta one day when I had a coupon and I was like, I was gonna buy like 2 of these because I knew I loved it. But I feel like as my skin's changing, this foundation doesn't work as well with me, but my technique has also gotten better, so I'm gonna try to rework it. But I know so many people love the Born This Way foundation, and they not so recently came out with the Born This Way powder foundation. So I feel like the next natural step is to come out with a Born This Way stick foundation. Foundation sticks are really like in the hype right now, and I think it's only a natural thing because the Too Faced Born This Way foundation is a cult classic. When they collaborated with Jackie Aina, they also did a shade expansion, so you could have so many more shades in the stick foundation, and you could offer a slightly different finish, maybe more matte or more luminous compared to the traditional liquid one. It would complete the Born This Way line. You have the 2 different concealers, then you have 3 foundation finishes, and you have a Born This Way setting powder. It's the last thing that line needs to be perfect. Actually, maybe you could do a Born This Way primer, so like a hydrating primer. I know the Hangover X is a hydrating primer, but this one could also be hydrating and longevity, kind of like the Milk Hydro Grip primer, or maybe like a Born This Way setting spray. I feel like the Born This Way line is so good that Too Faced should just really hype on this instead of doing 100 fruit themed palettes. Another brand that I love is Anastasia Beverly Hills. I buy a lot of their new releases and I review them right here on my channel, and I've talked about how their eyeshadow palette formula is one of my favorites. And I feel like the eyeshadow palette that everybody knows and everybody loves from Anastasia is their Modern Renaissance. Just looking at mine, I'm pretty sure you can tell how much I loved it, and I always reach for this palette. I feel like everybody likes this palette. I don't see in very many declutters and people still use it to this day. So just like the Too Faced Chocolate Gold, I feel like they should make a Modern Renaissance too. This could be the cooler tone version where it's not quite as cool as the Sultry palette, but it still has like your basic neutrals and maybe like a pop of silver, like a pop of blue, a pop of purple, because this palette is so diverse because you get these neutrals on this side where you can really do an everyday look. And then you have like these 4 or 5 pops of colors that you can combine with the neutrals to make something a little bit more dramatic, but it's still not crazy unwearable. We can all agree that Modern Renaissance probably was Anastasia's biggest success, and I'd love to see a part 2 because I'm actually thinking of buying this palette again. Like, my goal probably for 2020 is going to be to pan this entire palette, and I love it so much that I would literally buy a new one as soon as I run out of it. I also mentioned this idea in one of my Yes or Pass videos, and it comes from ColourPop. And as we know, ColourPop will probably already have released this idea by the time I get to it, but I would love to see them do a 9-pan pastel palette for spring. I like the 9-pan palettes because I feel like they're a small curated color scheme. They're $12, so it's in a lot of people's price range, and I just like them. I've yet to buy one, but that doesn't mean they're not all on my ColourPop wish list. And I feel like a pastel palette going to like the spring and summertime is so seasonably appropriate. Obviously, you can wear pastels whatever time of the year you want. They just make me think of springtime. And I think I was triggered about this idea because they just came out with the lilac collection, and I'd love to see like a pop of purple, a blue, a green, a yellow, an orange, maybe a white, and like a few other pastel palettes or colors. I feel like it makes such a pretty palette, and it's something ColourPop doesn't have because I often feel like ColourPop is duping themselves. And the other release I'd like to see from ColourPop has to do with their blush sticks and their blush highlighters, or their light sticks. I feel like if you're gonna come out with cream blushes and cream highlighters, the only thing missing is a cream bronzer. And I'm surprised they haven't come out with it already because ColourPop is releasing 100 things every week. But if you have blush sticks, light sticks, where are the bronze sticks? Because they can also be used as like cream contour sticks. Granted, they do have stick foundation, so I guess you could use it as a cream contour. I'm just looking for something specifically like driven towards bronzing that I could just like swipe on and blend out. A lot like the Milk Makeup Cream Bronze Stick, which I love and I adore, but ColourPop would be a price range that a lot more people would be able to try out and would fit within their budget. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time I got this video edited and uploaded, ColourPop would already come out with some releases because I think they hit on all the things I touched on in the last video, but I feel like since they release so much, I'd like to see some more innovative products instead of just coming out with an eyeshadow palette every week. When I think of Physicians Formula, I obviously think of makeup and like the butter bronzer because I think that's their most well-known product. But I also think of them more as a more natural and like skincare driven brand. I believe they just came out with like an organic line, and I think their products, because maybe it's like the physician in the name, are just better for your skin. I think based on that, I'd like to see a tinted moisturizer come out with Physicians Formula. It could definitely have like hyaluronic acid and other skincare ingredients like the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. But I think when I think of Physicians Formula, I think of like high quality and like good for your skin ingredients. And maybe that's just me and they shouldn't market completely my ideas, but let me know if that's also something you associate with the brand. But I'd love to see their products have like a skincare focus in them. So like a tinted moisturizer with hyaluronic acid and salicylic acid in it that helps hydrate and fight acne. And it's like the best of both worlds. Let me know what you think. I feel like Physicians Formula could totally come out with like skin-friendly stuff, much like the Becca Skin Love collection came out. One of my favorite drugstore brands, and probably the first makeup brand I ever tried, was NYX. And I feel like when it comes to YouTube, NYX just doesn't get talked about a lot. I am planning on doing a best and worst of NYX video somewhere down the line. Stay tuned for that eventually. But I feel like NYX needs cream products. Cream products are totally becoming a hit in 2019, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed relevant in 2020. We went from like the 2017, 2018 phase where we're like full coverage, matte, like let me cake on the powder, and like baking was very big. And now we're going for more of like the tinted moisturizer, the dewy luminous foundation look versus like the very matte like canvas look. And I feel like cream products tend to go with that natural look. They look natural on the skin, they blend in well, and it's not like you have obvious powder sitting on top of your skin because it blends in well with whatever else you're wearing. Granted, I'm well aware that cream products aren't for everybody. It took me a while to get onto the cream bandwagon, and I'm not sure how they work with people with oily skin because they might break down if your foundation is breaking down. But NYX has almost every product under the sun, but they don't have cream products. They have plenty of bronzers, blushes, and highlighters because I've tried all of them, but I'd love to see them come out with cream blushes. I feel like that's an easy way to start, but I'd love to see them out with cream blushes and cream bronzers. I feel like cream blushes is an easy way to start the line because they're user friendly. It could even come with like an easy applicator or even sell like a brush with it. But I'm such a fan of cream blushes. My favorite blush is the one from Too Faced in the shade Ginger Peach, which is part of their like second peach collection. And I feel like those blushes did not get a lot of love, but I love them. And they have better wear time than some of my powder blushes as well. And the last brand that I want to talk about today is Fenty Beauty. And like most people, I love Fenty Beauty. I talked about them in my last video as well, and today I want to talk about Fenty releasing pencil eyeliners. Fenty has the Fly Liner, which is their liquid eyeliner, which my best friend loves, but I am very committed to my Sephora collection eyeliner at the moment. During their summer collection, they came out with those really fun, bright eyeliners, and I was like, yes, Fenty, like, do the thing, bring graphic eyeliner, like, into the mainstream media. But now I feel like because that was a limited edition summer collection, Fenty should, like, keep that vibe going with their pencil liners. I know they came out with, like, more chubby liners during their winter collection, but once again, it was limited edition. So maybe this might be, like, a more appropriate spring and summer release, because I feel like that's when people wear, like, really bold colors. But I love a nice pop of eyeliner on the lower lash line. I picked up a few eyeliners during the 21 Days of Beauty sale at Ulta, so I'll have that linked up above and down below. But maybe I'll do a video on some of my favorite eyeliners for a good pop of color, because I love the Urban Decay ones, I love the ColourPop ones, and the Marc Jacob highliners are so good, but they're really expensive. So I feel like because Fenty's kind of at a high-end but not luxury price, they could come out with some really good quality eyeliners. And I just feel like it'd be great for the Fenty brand, because you can pretty much do, or you can do a full face of Fenty. I'm just looking for a little something extra. So those wrap up all the products that I'd like to see brands release. Let me know what your favorite brand is and what you'd like to see their next release be, because I had so much fun sitting with my piece of paper and writing down the products that I'd like to see. If you like this video, I hope you'll consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'd love to have you come join me in my next one. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thanks for watching.